I've been watching a few videos on YouTube back on the good old-fashioned subject of occultism, spiritualism. And there's been the occasional mention of sex and magic. And I read books on the subject when I was younger. But even today, I do somewhat question whether this is actually a good idea. I mean, if you're, let's say, in the company of someone who you've had, let's say, a commercial transaction with, maybe it wouldn't be quite so bad. But let's say this is someone who you actually loved and cared for and was in a relationship with, and you're proposing to spend a bit of rather, fun, happy time together, whilst not really paying attention to the person that you're with, and just having a symbol drawn on a piece of paper, probably with a biro, sellotape or scotch taped to their foreheads whilst you're in the process of steadily and surely reaching that point of gnosis. Do you really think that's going to help your relationship? I mean, of course, unless she's, of course, into the same sort of thing that you are, in which case everything's fine. But if she's not, then surely that would be a little selfish and or inappropriate. And it might be worthwhile thinking about what your partner would like to do during fun, happy time together as well, rather than necessarily just separating yourself intellectually and emotionally from the experience. I mean, the myth that, again, in inverted commas, magic works can lead people to want to experiment with all kinds of weird and wonderful things to see whether they can get the result that they are after. But sometimes, well, I get the feeling that certain interpretations of alleged occult facts were put there by people who don't necessarily have your best interests at heart. And so they're basically taking the piss. And thus ruining, potentially, your relationship. Think about what your partner wants to do as well. Tell your partner what you want to do, by all means, so long as your partner's open and liberally minded enough and basically has the same kind of background as you, then you've got nothing to worry about. But trying to do things by yourself when you're with somebody might not necessarily be the most relationship-friendly thing to do. I mean, if you're rather detached from an experience, your partner will probably recognise that and it won't come over too well. So it's good to be involved with your partner, having fun.